Hey gorgeous, welcome to Aligned Ascension. Frequency attunement, human design, and business energetics. I'm Christy Avis. This is your Aligned Ascension.
This is codes of the Aligned service provider. So what we're going to be going into is literally life-changing. It's going to transform the way you think about clients, how you think about yourself within your work. It's such a vibe and I'm so excited. So let me know that you are here. Give everybody a couple of minutes. I know we have a lot of people who are going to be catching the replay because I chose to do this in the middle of the day on a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody, by the way. Happy Friday. So I want to make sure that this is working and that you guys can hear me. And actually, I should probably hook up my earpods. I'm going to do that real quick. See if you guys can hear all the bird noises. I'm not seeing any comments, so if you're on, let me know. I hope I can see comments during this live. Connected. That's a vibe. That's a good start. Okay, let's make sure we're working. I am so freaking excited. I am so freaking excited. Oh no. I think I can only see comments on the computer. That's okay. Okay, give me just a second. That makes me so sad. Oh, okay. I saw Jacqueline's comment. Okay. Tony, okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, I was about to be really sad. Hi, Tracy. Hello, everybody. Okay, we're good. We're good. Panic moment on Facebook. Like, this isn't gonna work. You guys will have to forgive me. There's pollen out there, and I have all of that stuff in my chest. So, let's get started. I'm so excited for this masterclass, and it's really funny because usually for my masterclasses, I'm very prepared, right? And I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk about days before, and I'm really getting into the vibes of like, okay, this is exactly what I want to teach. I did that an hour before this masterclass today. And some of you might be like, okay, like hopefully you know what you were talking about while you were promoting this. I know this stuff so well because this is my personal lived experience in the coding that shifts you from working for your clients to with your clients, from burnout to enough time, from undercharging to charging prices that feel super good. So that's why I was able to like put this together an hour before and get into the vibes of what exactly needs to come through on this masterclass. What do people need to hear? What's going to be the most transformative for them in the course of learning how to switch these codes from not great places, lower frequency coding to higher frequency coding. And this is so important, right? Because within these codes, what this actually was is this was a post that I was going to create. And I was going into like, okay, here's a lot of the coding I see in the service industry, regardless of if you're a coach or if you're a service provider, this coding exists within a lot of how we approach our businesses, right? How we actually see ourselves, how we actually see our clients, how we see money, how we see hard work. And so this coding post came through and I was like, this is too good. I can't post this. This needs to be a masterclass because I have so much to say on every single one of these things. So I'm excited. I'm buzzing. So if you between these machines, not appropriate. We are not doing that. There we go. Okay. So what was I saying? Oh, yes. So I am a manifesting generator. So I love when you guys interact, when you are commenting, when you're like, yes, that resonates, or hey, I have a question here, or hey, this thing doesn't make sense to me. Interact with me because that gives me something to respond to. And that's how my channel works, right? Being a manifesting generator with a sacral authority, I get activated when you speak. And this makes this a really good experience where we're able to give you everything that you need from this masterclass because there is going to be so much fucking value in this masterclass. This is one that is going to be posted to guides afterwards because I want this to live for forever. I want you to be able to access this information whenever because there's going to be a lot of codes that we're going to be giving you. These codes is an activation, right? When we talk about like even in the gene keys, because I'm a human design practitioner, Codes are things that download into your body and become something that is integrated within you, where you act differently within a higher frequency. So that's why we're talking about the lower frequency and then shifting into the higher frequency, right? So it's going to be such a vibe. If you are catching the replay, also comment, also interact, also engage. I will come back and answer you if you have questions, if my phone notifications are kind to me. But even so, I want to know that you are here. I want you to interact, and I want you to be present during this live, because that's the thing. You guys can take notes, but when it comes to the deep integration, you're really going to be wanting to take the notes the second time around when you watch this, because I want this to hit. I want this to settle into, oh my gosh, I get to see things in a different way and shift and upgrade your energetic codes. That requires presence, right? That requires being in it and being in the feelings of it and allowing yourself to be open to this information. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water during it because pollen season's getting me. But I'm so excited. So who's ready? Let me know you are ready. Let me know you are excited. Give me some of that interaction, as my Manny Gen self needs something to respond to. So I do a lot. You guys know I'm a manifesting generator. I do human design. I do mindset coaching. I have business coaching. And I also am a high level VA on the side. And this is why this program came through. And this may seem very out of character for my brand. All of you guys who are in this group know that I am a human design practitioner. So the fact that I'm coming out with a lot of stuff about the service industry might have caught you off guard. And it caught me off guard too, because being a sacral authority, this dropped in for me. And if you guys have seen any of my recent posts, you guys have known that I've been scared to talk about this, right? Because being a service provider, it's a polarizing thing to say that the industry is mistreating service providers. And regardless of if you are a coach, somebody who is in a 9 to 5, somebody who is an actual service provider, somebody who works in like a business where you're doing some sort of service like massage or what is it called, like cosmetics care or something like that, this is going to benefit you. And this came through for me as something that was really important to teach, because I live a life of so much freedom right now. And I want to tell you guys about where I was 6, 7, 8, 9 months ago. Because what I had done is I had invested in a high level coach, and she had told me that being a VA was a really good way to start off my business. And so I had listened, I had done all the things, and I got to the point where I had a $13,000 month. And I was still working, not even a 9 to 5. I was working a 7 to 5, and I was in a marketing position at a landscaping company, and I was literally dying. I was so burnt out. I was so just pumping adrenaline through my body, and I was so stressed. I was working with awful unaligned clients, and what I was doing is I would go to work at 7 a.m. I would drink like 5 or 6 iced coffees to make it to lunch. During lunch, I had a 30-minute drive to get home, and I had a 1 hour lunch. I would drive 30 minutes to go home to take a sales call because I couldn't take sales calls at my work. And I would go do this to sign new clients and then drive back. And I was driving like 70 miles per hour. I'm surprised I didn't get a ticket. Don't recommend, don't judge me based off this. And then I would go home, and then I would work for my clients until 2 or 3 a.m. And then I would do it over again. At 7 a.m., I'd go to work and I'd do it over again. I was getting 5 or 6 hours of sleep each night, and I was burnt out. I was burnt out. And so I finally quit my job, and things did not get better. Things did not get better. And this is why this program, or this free masterclass, is so freaking important to me, because I see so many service providers doing what I did, working with unaligned clients, doing things they don't like within their businesses, saying yes to things that are actually no's, overworking themselves. And this is a problem, right? Because if you're a service provider, this is low frequency coding, right? And even when I quit my job, my time didn't open up. I was still pulling 13, 14-hour days. I had some clients where I had to hop on a call with them weekly to figure out what we were doing for the next week, and my stomach would literally have so many butterflies in it, because I knew that the client would be upset. I knew that the client was somebody who was prone to anger. I had other clients who expected unlimited work for me. I was doing things I didn't love, right? I was doing copywriting. Copywriting, unless it's for me, no. Sacral, And so a lot of these things took changes, right? They took internal changes that were reflected outward. And it was crazy, right? Because what ended up happening is I went through a period of severe burnout. And I was offline for 6 months. Like, if you guys scroll through my Facebook feed, you will notice that during a period of like 6 months, there's like 3 posts. And now I post every day. And during that time, it was such a hard time for me. I had hired a trauma coach. I had hired an OBM to teach me how to run my business. I had hired another coach, and all these people were coming in to help me, and I was not seeing the changes that I desired. I was not charging as much as I wanted to charge. I was struggling to keep my work hours to 14 hours a day. I was asking my fiance for help, and our relationship, like, he's a manifester. He is not meant to be helping me and my business. And our relationship was so rough during that period of time. And it was crazy. I ended up firing a couple of clients because I stepped into my power and decided I needed to be respected. But also the same day, I lost 3 more clients who had just, because I had unsupportive contracts in place. So I lost half of my client list in one day. And the things that my nervous system went through during that period of time where I lost 7 clients, I think it was 5, 6, 7, I don't even remember. Half my client list in one day was horrifying. And I went through this period of like, I don't know how to do this. I know that hard work isn't tied to money. I don't know what the shifts are. And the shifts are what I'm going to be talking to you guys about today. I have twice as many clients as I had back then. I work less than half as much as I used to work, and I make twice as much money within the VA side of my business. I have the space and free time to do other things that I love because I love being a high-end VA, but I also love human design coaching. I also love my private clients. I also love creating things for Pinterest. I love doing my artwork, and I have time to do all of it. So that is what we're doing today. This is going to be a transmission. So definitely be present within this information. And there's going to be so much free value in this masterclass today. And at the end, I am going to talk about one of my new programs, which I'm so excited about. But regardless of if you stay to hear that information, regardless of if you want to deepen this work with me and go even further and go into creating the actual life-changing things you need to do within your business to step into your power, to call in higher level clients, to let go of things that are unaligned, to charge higher prices. I think I already said that, but have more freedom. That's what this is about. So if it all resonates, stay at the end, learn more about this beautiful offering I am bringing to you guys. But we're going to dive into the content. We're going to dive into the content, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Jacqueline, may I ask how long this class will be? I wish I knew. Most of my master classes are between an hour and an hour and a half. Regardless, there will be a replay, so if you have to pop off, you can pop back on and listen to the rest. But I am so happy that you are here. Okay. And I'm very bad at sticking to time limits. People who are in my programs, you guys know, I like show up and I teach and I teach and I teach and I teach, and then all of a sudden it's been like an hour and a half. I'm like, oh my God, it feels like it's been 10 minutes. So yes, absolutely, Jacqueline. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to start with is a lower frequency code. And this is something that really needed to shift within my business, is that people should know your boundaries that are uncommunicated. This is huge, right? This is really big, because what will happen is there are 2 ways to look at this. There are 2 things that come up within this, is that people should know your boundaries that are uncommunicated, and people should stick to your boundaries that are communicated. Regardless of who we are calling in, we want clients who are really going to understand what our turnaround times are, what our contract states, to understand that they can't be leaving us 8-minute Voxer messages. But at the end of the day, it is up to you to protect your energy. And boundaries are the most important thing in any service-based business, regardless of if you are in a brick and mortar regardless of if you are a coach, regardless of if you are somebody who is like an OBM or a graphic designer or a copywriter or a VA. This is so important because what this does is this gives you the opportunity to take your power back. And I used to be the person who would say a boundary. I'd be like, "Hey, I need this reviewed by Friday evening." And then my client wouldn't review it and I'd be like, "Oh, they know. They know. It's fine. It's one of those things, they probably just had something come up." No. Right? What we really, really want to be stepping into is the fact that we need to consistently maintain our boundaries, and that takes the verbalization of our boundaries. And if you have an open solar plexus, you guys know I teach a lot of human design within this masterclass and within my program. Human design is a big piece of this. But if you have an open solar plexus, what will happen is there can be this fear of conflict, this fear of speaking up for what you need because you are afraid that things will not go the way you want them to go when you speak that into existence, right? When you speak that boundary, when you maintain that boundary, because boundaries are meant to be maintained. And so what you will do is you will not have the conversations that need to be had because of fear, because you are imagining the worst case scenario. And something that is really, really important within the coding of being a service provider is that you need to start preparing yourself for the best case scenario in all circumstances. Because when you energetically align yourself to the fear of conflict, the fear of saying your prices, the fear of, hey, this needs to be reviewed. I know we've already talked about this, but I just want to reiterate that this is necessary. Then you step into owning that what you desire is just as important as what your client desires. This is important whether you are a coach and you have limitations on how many times people can reschedule their appointments, or if you are a service provider and you need somebody to review your content at a certain point in time, or somebody is pushing your boundary and saying, hey, I know it's 6 p.m. I know you quit work at 5 p.m., but I need this thing done now. And we're going to go into some other codes that will really, really impact this, but it is so necessary that you are communicating your boundaries. Now, when it comes to boundaries within the service industry, regardless of what you do, there is so much grace that you must have for yourself within this. Because how do we know that something's a boundary within a new realm? What if you're offering a new service? What if you're new to coaching? What if something comes up that has never come up before? This grace is why this grace is so important, because you will often not know your boundaries until they have been crossed. So many people will stay stuck, will keep themselves from expanding because they don't know that they're going to be safe in the process of that expansion, in the process of signing new clients, in the process of getting more coaching clients or offering new services. And it comes down to this. It comes down to the fact that you are not going to know your boundary often until it has been crossed. And so if this is the case, there is a necessary level of self-trust that you have to have within yourself to tap into. No matter what comes up, I am tapped into what I desire, because I promise you, you know when your boundary has been crossed. That sick kind of, I don't want to do this, but I guess I'll do it anyway. That feeling that comes up within you, that is the signal of a boundary has been crossed. You get to change your mind. You get to step into more powerful boundaries as you realize, as you see that something has been crossed. And these boundaries are not something that is set in stone. Sometimes my clients need help with something after hours, and sometimes I want to do it. Often I do not, and I will not if I do not want to. I will not take responsibility for saving people. Hi, Liv, so good to see you. And this is so important, right? This is so, so important. So you often will not know your boundaries until they have been crossed. So within that, you need to give yourself permission to change your mind, to be flexible and fluid within your boundaries based on how you are feeling and based on how you are evolving, right? Because I had boundaries. And in the beginning of some of my contracts, I used to do like external group engagement for people where I would go and comment on threads and help people grow their groups. And this became unaligned in the middle of my contracts. I run long-term contracts because that is most supportive of me being in predictability with my income, and it supports my clients too. We have to remember that everything that we want within our business, best case scenario, also is what our clients want. When I raise my prices, I trust that that's what my clients want to pay me. So in the middle of those contracts, I stopped liking what I was doing. And what I did is I messaged all of my clients and I said, hey, I'm no longer doing this. Pay isn't changing. The amount you pay me isn't changing. The hours aren't changing. I'm just no longer going to do this for you. There was fear. There was absolutely fear. But I trusted that what was aligned for me and what was in the best interest of me and what my higher self was telling me to do was in the service of my clients. We're always preparing for best case scenario, right? I will not take responsibility for saving people. Absolutely. Absolutely. I remember that feeling all too well. Since I've begun following the feelings of ease and desire versus trying to please everyone, my life has evolved so beautifully. Same, Jacqueline, same. Love this, yay. So the new coding around your boundaries is, I am safe to talk about my boundaries over and over and over. I am safe to change my mind, and I am safe to be graceful in understanding that I often will not know my boundaries until they have been crossed. And anything that is not in alignment with my boundaries, I get to evaluate if this is something I want to keep. I recently let a client go because we had an agreement, right? That content would be reviewed by a certain point in time. I was starting to not love writing content, but I was really starting to not love that this person could not meet the deadline. And so what did I do? I decided that it was in my best interest to let this client go. And the amount of space and openness that has opened up in my life for me holding the boundary over and over and over again. And then deciding based on that how I wanted to move forward without the fear, just in pure alignment of knowing what I desire, led me to having so much free time. So much free time to call in another one-on-one client. So much free time to sit on my balcony, right? It's so, so, so important. And here's the thing. Do I talk about this in this section? I want to make sure I'm not like mixing up all of the sections. Yeah. Someone who does not respect my boundaries is safe to leave. They are safe to leave, and I'm safe to let them go. Because a boundary crossed is an opportunity for communication. A boundary crossed multiple times is reevaluation based on disrespected boundaries. That's really important to remember, right? A boundary crossed once, opportunity for communication. Boundary crossed over and over and over again, still opportunities for communication, but it becomes a certain point where it is no longer aligned. I am so glad, Connie. It's so good to see you. And then a big piece of this is looking for the evidence around you that people love to honor your boundaries. Looking for the evidence around you of people who are not crossing our boundaries, the people who are giving us tons of time, the people who are saying, hey, I'd love for you to do this whenever you get a chance. Every single one of those, pay attention to those, because here's the thing we're going to talk about a lot in this masterclass. If you are an energetic match for one, you are an energetic match for one more, and one more, and one more, and one more. So if you are an energetic match for one client who honors your boundaries, you are an energetic match for all of your clients honoring your boundaries. And you have to trust that, right? That's what makes it so easy when you're tapped into the truth of that to let go of something that is unaligned. You get to let go because you know that you are clearing space for what is meant to come. And one of my biggest boundaries when I was first like having all those clients and had just quit my job and I was really in burnout, regardless of I have a lot of boundaries, right? I have a lot of boundaries, but my biggest boundary is respect. If you do not respect me, we are done. And it was really scary for me because I had one client who every single time before we hopped on a sales call, my stomach would drop because every single time it would be a list of things that were out of alignment for her, a list of things that she wasn't happy with, a list of how I wasn't doing enough. Regardless of how much you do, there will always be people who want more from you. And that is your determination to set the boundary and leave. But when you are hopping on a call with a client, regardless of if this is a coaching client, somebody who comes into your store, if you own a store, or if this is a VA client or a copywriting client, whatever, if your stomach drops every time before you talk to them, if you dread speaking to this client, you dread listening to their voice messages, it is time to move on. Because respect is the number one thing that will drain your energy. If you are being disrespected, it is going to change the way you feel about not only yourself, but your whole business. So you have to have a zero tolerance policy within that. Do my clients have hard days? Absolutely. Do I make really bad mistakes? Absolutely. I'm a human. You're a human. You're allowed to make mistakes. People are allowed to get frustrated. But if disrespect is a common occurrence within that, it is time to set the boundary and let them go, because I promise you, if you are an energetic match for one, you are an energetic match for another. If you desire it, it is possible. Even if you have no clients and you are looking to call in respectful clients who honor your boundaries, that is possible for you because you desire it. That's how it works. And as soon as you become an energetic match, they are there, right? You become an energetic match by believing in it, by seeing it, by knowing that it's possible for you. How is that feeling? That one's one of my favorite ones. Boundaries are so important. So important. So important. The next thing that really comes up for almost everybody in the industry, regardless of if you're a service provider, regardless of if you're a coach, is the 9 to 5 mentality. The 9 to 5 mentality. And this is sneaky, right? Because you will see it come up when I go over the points of this. But this is really important because you are an entrepreneur for freedom. You own your own business or want to own your own business for freedom. And so we have to drop that 9 to 5 mentality. The most important thing with this is that you work with your clients, not for them. When you step into this statement of I work with my clients, not for them, what happens is two things. Not only do you claim your power as the CEO of your business, you are below no one, you are somebody who is highly skilled and has a lot to bring to the table, but it also gives your clients their power. You get to see your clients in their power. Because if you work with them, not for them, the second they say jump, if it is not in alignment for you and you have turnaround times that do not support jump, you see your clients as capable of doing it themselves, right? And this is how I see not only my VA clients, but I also see the clients I coach one-on-one like this as well too. The clients in my programs, I see them as capable. I see them as capable of shifting things, of moving into their power. I am not sitting there all day on Voxer waiting for somebody to message me. I am out living my life, because that's exactly what my one-on-one clients would want to see. That's exactly what is in support of my VA clients being served to the highest level. And so when somebody needs something right away, I see them as capable of doing it themselves. And this creates a new dynamic, because there is a new dynamic rising up within the coaching industry where we are moving away from hierarchical leadership. And this is within the Gene Keys, right? This is within the stuff that I teach within human design, is that hierarchical leadership is leadership where somebody is placed on a pedestal at the top. And typically, if you're a VA or a service provider or any kind of service provider, right? Even coaches do this. You place somebody on a pedestal and you are below them to serve them. And what is happening is there is a new paradigm of leadership coming into the forefront of the coaching industry and all industries, where people are not placed on pedestals at the top, but people are seen as equals in different aspects, in their superpowers. And what this really does is this allows us to see everyone is powerful, everyone is capable, and nobody is better than us or worse than us or more in charge than us, right? And so when we see it this way, we are somebody who brings just as much value. And we are a piece of these companies instead of somebody who is below somebody else being told what to do. This person may still always tell us what to do if we're serving them, right? But within this shifts the paradigm. If you're a coach, you get to see your clients this way. And so what happens is as you rise up, they're able to rise with you. And there is no hierarchy of I am better than you. It is just I am walking with you. I am walking with you regardless of if I'm a service provider, a coach, if I work online, if I own a brick and mortar, no matter what, you are walking with your clients. And so this prevents the dynamic of you running somebody else's business, of them putting the savior complex on you and saviorizing you, right? This is so important. This is so, so important. And especially, like, I love this stuff. I love this stuff for people who have already been in the industry, already had clients, already working. But if you are somebody who is a new coach, having these codes integrated within you before you even start, you're going to be really ahead of the game. Really ahead of the game. This starts with you. You get to see them in their power. You get to see them in their power. People are responding to your energy constantly and consistently. So this is something that you get to energetically decide. How do you decide? You decide, right? You get to decide that I am not somebody who saves people, that I am very important to this client, or I am very important in this industry, in my work. And therefore, I choose to be respected. I choose that I'm not going to reply to anybody right away if I don't want to. If it feels good, I get to. I choose that when somebody needs saving and it is not in alignment for me to do that task, or they are messaging me late, that I see them in their power because I'm in my power. I'm capable. You're in your power. You're capable. Last minute task, do it yourself. They've run their businesses thus far. They can continue to. This serves everyone. Because when you start pouring from an empty cup, what happens is there is resentment built up. And then suddenly you don't like your business. Suddenly people are asking too much. And it is a rolling train, right? So we want to avoid that. Live, love this. So true in so many industries. Yep, absolutely. So, so true in so many industries. So the new coding here is if I work with them, if I work with them, if I work with them, I am highly valuable. My time is highly valuable. They are extremely capable. I am extremely capable. Your empowerment brings forth their empowerment, 100%. And everything within this industry always starts with us. Every change we want to see, it starts with us. 100%. Okay. Is this resonating? Let me know. Those are two extremely powerful codes because it gets us to see our businesses and see our work in different light, to see our clients in different light, to see where we've put people on a pedestal, where we're implementing hierarchy and making ourselves less than, where we're afraid to communicate boundaries when that's in most alignment for us. Tony, someone asked me yesterday about my rates for writing social media content. I explained the package and she asked how many hours it was. It was so freeing to explain. Yes, I don't charge by the hour. Literally, literally. I have told so many people this. I've been in contracts where in the middle of the contract, they're like, hey, can you track the number of graphics you're creating and also how many hours? Sorry, I don't track hours because I am a boss at graphics. I can do graphics. I can do probably 10 graphics in 10 minutes. I will not be paid based off how fast I work. I will be paid based off of the value that I bring. And you get to be that way too. Go Tony, I love you. Jacqueline, fuck, I love that. Literally, me too. Oh, so good. So good. Okay, the next code. This is a code you will see no matter what, no matter who you are, no matter where you are. Hard work equals money. Hard work equals money. What a powerful move, Tony, to say I charge based off of the value that I bring instead of the hours that I work. Boom. Boom. Okay. Ooh, yes. Okay. Hard work does not equal money. Equating hard work to money is a lower frequency code of what needs to happen within any business, anything you do. And we're taught this, right? We're taught to be very, very, very conditional about, okay, if I do this, I get this. That's how it was when we were kids. That's how this society works, right? Most people paid based off of how long they work. Most kids, you get candy if you do the chore. You get spanked if you do this bad thing. So it has programmed us to put our worth in how much we are doing. And this is really big, right? Because I feel like everybody struggles with this, but service providers, you guys really struggle with this because you are doing something for somebody. So it would make sense that hard work is tied to hours or hard work is tied to dollars. And that is not the case. Because if it was, would there be such thing as high-level VAs? Would there be millionaires? Really think about this. Don't let this like go by as like something or like, whatever. Seriously, there is so much proof around you that hard work is not tied to dollars because nobody would be a millionaire. All these women making 100K to 800K in their business per year, they'd be burnt out. So obviously, there's a secret, there's a trick, and it's all energetic, right? It's all energetic. So live transactional marketing was the false premise the patriarchy raised us on. Literally, literally. And this is so, so beautiful, right? Because we are entering into this phase of feminine work. You are going to see more and more coaches, more and more service providers entering into a phase of you pay me based on me being here to support you. I will still do things, but I am not working every moment for every dollar that I get. This is the new paradigm. This is what you get to ride the train on. You get to jump on this train of what is happening right now within the industry. And you get to step into my hard work does not mean I'm getting paid more. And there's so much proof, right? Because I doubled my client list. I work less than half as much as I used to. And I get paid more. And it is of service to both my clients and to me. And so a big piece of this is I was doing this all by myself, right? I was running my VA business. I was doing coaching. I stepped into high level VA because that's what felt good to me. I want to work with high level women who knew exactly what they wanted, didn't need me. I was doing this all by myself. And this is how I decided I wanted to get paid. And I got to the point where I had tons of time freedom and I wanted even more freedom. So what did I do? I hired an assistant. And how do I pay this assistant? I pay her based on her being there. Sometimes I have tasks for her. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes she's making $70 an hour based on the very few things that I have for her. Sometimes it's less. And this is why I really, really, really love to have contracts that are not based on my hours, but based on containers. This is what the coaching industry is, right? It's like, hey, you get a certain number of calls that you can use, and you get to get Voxer support. Here are my boundaries within Voxer. It's not based on hard work. I say you get packages where I support you in this, and this. And if my clients don't need anything, I still get paid the same amount every month. Some days, my clients have nothing because I have chosen to call in high-level women who aren't looking to fill that space. I have worked with clients who want to fill that space. I worked with a client one time, and she wanted like 10 different graphics and was also in the middle of launching this thing. And I was like, okay, let's look at this. Let's prioritize. And she said, what do you mean you can't do it all at the same time? I thought this was unlimited. And I nearly died. We were no longer working together a week later. This is on me too, because I had not had the clear boundaries of absolutely this is not unlimited. I do not call in or work with the clients who think that they get to suck as much out of me as they want to fill the time. I work with empowered women who know exactly how to use the container to serve them best. Right? This is so, so, so important. And this is going to be confronting, right? If you are a coach, if you are a service provider, and you want to switch from hourly to containers, this is going to confront you because the first code that we talked about, the boundaries, you have to have really strong boundaries. You have to have strong boundaries within being charging hourly too. But if you are stepping into a container, it is up to you to determine where we need to adjust things, where things need to move, how we need to reevaluate. Oh, you want 10 tasks? Perfect. Let's prioritize these. I can get this done by this day. Oh, you wanted this thing tomorrow? It's taking me more time. Let's talk about extending this. You will have to communicate. People will not know your boundaries that are uncommunicated. So the new code here is people pay for access to me. I nearly died. People pay for access to me. Because my time is valuable. What I do is valuable. Your time is valuable. What you do is valuable. There wasn't somebody over my shoulder who told me that I was worthy and that I needed to charge higher prices. I had the pull, but I had to self-anoint myself. I had to decide that the work that I do is worth charging for. That I am worth paying even if I'm just sitting here watching Netflix because I am available for you. You pay for my availability, not just what I'm doing. And you have the power to determine that for yourself too. Nobody outside of you is going to give you permission to step into this code of people pay for access to me. You integrate it, you embody it, you believe it, and it becomes your reality. Can you define container or what you mean by that? Yes, absolutely. So within an hourly contract, what this looks like is you will get 10 hours per month or 10 hours per week, and you can do whatever you want with that time. Within a container, what this is going to look like is I'm not going to set the number of hours. You're going to pay me $1,500 per month. These are the tasks I'm available to do. And so this creates consistency, right? Because I see a lot of hourly entrepreneurs, some of their clients will give them 10 hours one week and then 2 hours one week. This creates this kind of this in your income. It also makes you trade hours for dollars. Within a container, I know without a doubt that I'm going to get this amount of money each month, regardless of how much work there is. And when there's a lot of work, what I do is I communicate to my clients, okay, I can have this done by this time and this done by this time. Hopefully that helps. Soul makes you more worthy than anyone outside of you. Literally, 100%. Yes, absolutely, Jacqueline. Okay, are you guys ready to get into the biggest code that will change your life? That is the most important code of being a service provider, or anyone, or any human, whatever you do. The most important thing is you must don't let this be like one of those things where you're like, oh duh, oh yeah, of course, like sure, I know that, like on to the next. Let this sink in. You must prioritize yourself before your clients. This one changed my life. This one completely transformed my entire being. Because what can happen is we can talk all day about mistreatment in the industry, coaches, clients putting their coaches on pedestals, coaches taking advantage of their clients, coaches taking credit for their clients' successes, VAs being mistreated, VAs being underpaid. But the most important thing, this doesn't happen if we are prioritizing ourselves above our clients. The responsibility to change this industry isn't on somebody else. It isn't on somebody treating us better or honoring our boundaries. It is on us treating ourselves better and us owning our boundaries and respecting our own boundaries and respecting what we desire. You must treat yourself prioritize yourself above your clients. This is a really hard one that took a while. My cat is so cute. This is a really hard one. Goodness, she's so cute. I am literally so distracted. She like stares at the sun and it's so cute. Okay. This is one that really took me a while to understand. And this is the one that changed my business the most. This statement, if you know, you know. Ready? Martyrdom is selfish. Martyrdom is selfish. When you go into savior mode, when you feel like people are asking too much of you and you're doing too much and you're spread thin, it is selfish. And this can be really triggering. So if you're triggered, it's okay. It's okay. Breathe into it because I'm going to explain myself. Because no matter what, martyrdom, when you are prioritizing other people above yourself, you are getting something out of it. You are. This goes for your personal life too. When you are prioritizing your whole family above yourself, you get to be seen as the good mom, the hardworking mom. You get to fall into that persona that you want to be viewed as. When I was being a martyr for my clients and saying, ugh, they make me work so much, they keep asking me for stuff, I was telling my fiance, I'm so stressed, like this is never gonna end. I was being selfish because I got something out of that martyrdom. I got safety. So if this is resonating at all, something I want you to journal on is, what do I get out of the self-sacrifice? Because as soon as you realize that you're getting something out of it and that it's not just victimhood, you are able to shift it. And when I really looked at it, I loved when my clients messaged me at 7 p.m. and said, oh my God, this payment link's broken and I need your help. Christy, come save me. Because what did I do? I would whine and I would complain and I'd be like, oh, this client wants me to fix this. I'm going to go fix this. And then what would happen afterwards is they would send me a message and they would say, Christy, you saved my life. And so what it would do is it would make me feel needed. And if I'm needed, they're not going to leave. If they're not going to leave, I'm safe to pay my bills. I'm safe in the income I'm creating. I'm safe knowing that they're not just going to up and say one day, hey, we're no longer aligned. I was thriving off of my clients needing me, which created a paradigm of my clients needing me, which kept me acting like the victim of what my clients desired, acting like the victim of these external circumstances, yet I wanted safety. So I was happy to do it. I thrived off of this dynamic. I consciously disregarded, disdained. I disdained that my clients messaged me at 7 p.m., but also I loved it. Also, I loved being needed. I loved the emergencies. So where are you being selfish in your martyrdom? And look at the reason why. Because if we are the source, if I am the source, you're looking for something external that is something you can fulfill within you. And so my thing was safety. So what did I get to do? I got to create safety from within. Because I realized that, because I saw that shift, because I saw why I was doing it. Because if you are saying you hate it, but you secretly like it, the universe is picking up on this vibration, right? This is the subconscious vibration going on, is that you thrive off of the self-sacrifice and the martyrdom. So look at why. Because as soon as you bring awareness to this, you get to shift it. You get to see how it's actually you getting what you need and how you get to create what you need without this situation, without this circumstance. If you take anything away from this masterclass today, that's it. Let's see, I've got people saying things. Live. It benefited older generations to keep the status quo, but we're now seeing the generational consequences as the gap between wellness and martyrdom widens. Oh my gosh. That's so powerful. I can't even, like, that comment. So powerful. When you made that shift, did some clients drop when you decided you wanted to be on a paid container? Nope. And I was so terrified to do it. And so I did the mindset work and I decided to look at the best case scenario. The best case scenario was that this was more supportive of my clients. Because then they knew that they weren't about to hit that hour cap. They knew that I was in full support of their business. And so when I sent the email letting them know that we were switching to containers, they were all on board because I changed the way I saw it first, did the mindset work of what's the best case scenario? Because my brain loves worst case scenario. So I consciously shifted into the best case scenario. How does this serve everybody? How is this better for everyone? Because they know that I'm on their team, that I'm there for them, that if they need a little bit more 1 week, they're not counting hours, right? A new level of trust. And this is something that happened when I was going from month to month versus switching to 6-month containers. This is something I did when I raised my prices. I journaled on what's the best case scenario, because best case scenario always is in mutual beneficialness. It is mutually beneficial to both parties involved. And usually how I would like to see it, how my brain would like to approach it is, this is good for me, my clients are going to hate me, right? So switching to that best case scenario. But if they did had that, would that mean there would no longer be aligned clients? Yep. So anybody, I didn't lose anybody because all of my clients were currently aligned. But if they had wanted to stay hourly, then I would have let them go. And I did have to let a lot of clients go. Like before I made that shift into all my clients being in those containers, I had done so much cutting out of what was unaligned that my clients, they move with me now. I say my rates are going up and they move with me. I say I'm no longer offering this service and they move with me. But it wasn't always like that, right? And so in the beginning, when I did have the clients who wanted unlimited work or who kept asking for more and more and more and didn't understand that Like, hey, I'm happy to give you these things, but I need to shift these things. They got dropped. They got dropped. They're more aligned for somebody else, right? They're more aligned for someone else. They were not aligned for me. And something else that you really have to be careful of is the never-ending checklist. This will apply to your personal life. This will apply to your business, regardless of what you do. The never-ending checklist. Because this is a trap. I will get it done now so I don't have to do it later. I will push hard now so I have more space and free time later. What this comes down to is pressure, right? And no matter how many things you cross off your checklist, there is always more. You've learned this with dishes, with laundry. It is the same way in a coaching business or a service industry business. And if you try to get it all done, there will be more tomorrow. So look at your root center in your human design chart, because this will help you start to decondition the places where you are putting pressure on yourself or others are putting pressure on you. So your lowest center, if it is defined, you really need to look at where you are putting pressure on yourself that is not real. And when you are putting that pressure on yourself, you need to ask, is this pressure real? Is this pressure true? How can I lean into a space of ease in this moment? Do I need to be doing this fast? Can I do this tomorrow? Because if your goal is to get everything checked off on your checklist, it's never gonna happen. I learned this the hard way. It's never gonna happen. And if you're undefined, where am I feeling pressure from other people? Where am I feeling the pressure from my clients? How can I get out in nature and release some of this pressure and realize that there is nothing but ease? How can I step into the rule that it all gets done in perfect time and I am never stuck? So a big piece of the frequency of this lower frequency coding of getting it all done is rules. That's how you step out of this frequency into the high frequency. You create rules for yourself. I have created so many rules for myself, and I've stuck to them. It is up to you to stick to your rules. The rules I have created, I work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it's funny because usually I work like 3 hours during that time. But that's when I'm available. That's when they're paying me to be available. I am not checking things afterwards unless I truly, truly want to. My rules are flexible. Yours get to be as strong or as flexible as you want. Sometimes I'll check my coaching clients' Voxers after 5 because I had something fun I was doing. Another rule, I don't check Voxer until I have done my morning routine. I get myself in a good space before I check all of their messages. When I am feeling drained and I have things to do, I go take a nap. It doesn't matter how quickly I have to do this thing. And I also have contracts and turnaround times in my schedule. My clients know how long it takes me to do something, and I create lots of space and ease in that. I'm not going to force myself to do it. If I'm feeling that drained energy, I tap into the rule that I've created for myself is that I go take a nap and I trust that everything gets done in perfect timing. Right? So create rules. I have rules around when somebody asks for too much. I say, hey, we're doing this, this, and this. What's most important? When's ideal for you to have this by? Okay, that's a little too soon. Let's look at this date. And then the most important thing is to realize that you are never stuck. You're never stuck based on what you said. You said priorly. I don't know if that's a word. What you said before. You say, hey, I really like this turnaround time. Or, hey, I'm doing this for you. You're not stuck by that. You're not stuck even if you're in the middle of a contract. You can always readjust. So the new code is, I am my first and most important client. I choose what to do, and I'm never stuck. This will bring in it's not going to make sense. This will bring in so much time, ease, and flow into your business. It's not even crazy. It's not even crazy. It's so crazy. I don't know what I was trying to say there. It's so crazy. So step into this code. You have to prioritize yourself first. Super powerful. You lead and they trust and go with you. Absolutely. It's always up to us. We're so used to constructive rules that our parents set and not setting rules ourselves. I love this, setting expansive rules that work for us. For us, yes, literally. One of my expansive rules for me is that my phone is not in reach when I'm doing yoga. Because I'm a little ADHD. I move fast. I want to check my phone and do the stretch and all the things. My rule creates presence in my life, right? Creates time. You can always, always, always readjust. Okay. Another code, another low frequency code. Holding on to what is no longer aligned. This is one of the most, it doesn't matter what you do, who you are, holding on to what no longer is aligned is a lower frequency, and we want to get into the higher frequency expression of this, right? You know when something's unaligned. You know when you have that pit in your stomach before you have to speak to a client, or when you have a pit before you're about to have somebody join your team. You know. You know. I promise you know when a client's asking you for too much. You know when you're doing things you don't love or when it's time to separate. And I used to look for validation on this. I used to go, oh, well, it's not too much. Maybe it's not as much. Maybe it'll get better. You know. Oh, it's only 2 hours a week. I really don't like copywriting, but it's only 2 hours. I guess I can do it. You know. Right? And a lot of people will not separate from these things that are unaligned because of fear. Fear is huge, but it goes back to the truth and the rule that if you are an energetic match for one, you are an energetic match for more. Right? If you're an energetic match for one aligned client, you're an energetic match for another aligned client. And I had a huge fear around this in the beginning of my business. I was working with a client who was so unaligned, so unaligned. And I made her mean I was going to be successful or not successful. Remember, you are the source. And so what happened with this client is she was kind of angry, kind of mean, but she was making a lot and she referred people to me. So I created a story in my head that if I were to let this client go, that no more new clients would come to me, that my business would fail, and that I have to go get another 9 to 5. I created a huge story around this. I let myself get to the point where I was dying before I let this client go. And then after that, I realized I am the source. I am the source of clients coming to me, If I'm an energetic match for one, I'm an energetic match for one more, and one more, and one more, which means there are thousands of aligned clients out there for you. So are you willing to create the space and let them go? The ones that are unaligned, right? I didn't need the referrals. I'm an energetic match for high-level clients. Without that client, I am responsible for my success. Nobody else. You are responsible for your success. Nobody else. And you are responsible for what you are an energetic match for. If you desire it, it is possible. And if you're an energetic match for one, you're an energetic match for one more. Right? So I also I have so many stories of unaligned clients that I've let go. I recently let go of an unaligned client, and I could have seen this as, okay, this is going to be $1,200 less to my income per month. But you guys know, if you're in my space, if you're in my world, you know how alignment works. That when you let go of what's unaligned, you create space for more of what is aligned. So instead of seeing that as $1,200 less that I'm making, I got to see it as I created space for I created so much space that I could literally fill this space with 10K easily. That's what alignment is. And regardless of what your strategy and your authority is within human design, regardless of what your type is, when you let go of what is unaligned, it is proven that you create more space for what is aligned because your aura expands with each aligned decision. Whether that's saying no to something that is a no for you or yes to something that's a yes for you. But when you stay in a space of saying yes to things that are no's, you collapse your aura, you collapse your magnetism, and you stop calling in what you desire. And then we get into this cycle of nothing's coming in, I'm scared, nothing's coming in, I'm scared, and we get into this cycle of repeatedly seeing what we're believing. Repeatedly seeing the effects of dampening our aura because we've said yes to something that's a no. Kyra, know it all too well. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you get to tap into, as soon as you know, no matter what, I am going to be okay. You don't feel bad about this situation or bad about working with this client for no reason. It is not in the highest service for you to be with them if you feel that way. It's not in the highest service for them or for you. So are you willing to trust alignment and step into what's aligned for you? What's a yes for you? What's a no for you? And move with it to create space for what is coming to you, what you're an energetic match for. We don't want to have a bunch of no's in our lives blocking out the yeses. But also, we want to tap back into the fact of, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but no matter what, I know I'm going to be okay. Because when we move in alignment, one move in alignment is more powerful than thousands of untapped in, unaligned moves. So you're going to be okay. So the new coding of this is holding on to what no longer serves you, doesn't allow you the space to let the perfect thing in. You are the source. When you follow your soul, when you follow that desire, you become a magnet to what you're an energetic match for. Your desire comes in. It's making sense. Okay. My favorite code, one of my favorites. This one helped me raise my prices over and over and over and over. And you get to keep raising your prices, by the way. There is no max. Underpricing your offers. This is a low frequency expression. Because what happens is when a lot of people will underprice their offers, they'll undercharge or they'll choose a lower price to be attractive or to convince people to get in. But here's the truth. When you undercharge, when you are pricing your offers based off of what you think people will buy or what will be easy for them to buy, it is neither in service of you or them, because you will start to resent your work. There is laws of equal exchange within the universe, and as soon as you are charging less than what feels aligned, you have entered into a space of creating resentment within your work, right? And so you are pouring from a cup that is half full. And so your clients are not getting the quality and level of work that they desire, and you are doing it for a price that is unaligned. There are clients at every single price point, every single one. And I look for higher prices intentionally. I have so many people in my inbox every day. It's like, hire me for a VA. We charge $5 an hour and you get the first 2 hours free. I'm like, no, absolutely not. People want to pay you high prices. Are you willing to be an energetic match to that belief? People look for high prices. Low prices can be more triggering for people than higher prices. Are you willing to believe that when you charge what you want to charge, you are having your cup completely full, and then you are able to pour from a full cup and serve your clients to an even higher capacity, a capacity that is completely open, completely devoid of resentment because you love what you do and you love how much you do it for. You will burn out if you undercharge. Because there's a million people that can hire you for $5 an hour. But how many people will hire you for $1,500? Right? More aligned people, people who are in their power, people who have good relationships with money, good relationships with the exchange, and you get to have a good relationship with that exchange too. And so the higher frequency expression of this is it is of service for me to be paid well. It is of service for me to charge higher prices. It is of service, right? People are served by my high prices. People are served by me getting the exact energetic exchange that I want for the work that I do in this world. Because again, self-anointed, the work I do in this world is really freaking valuable. So is the work you do. Yes, I taught this in one of my classes the other day. Yes, so good. There's a huge difference in the character and worth ethic in someone who barters and someone who prefers to pay higher price tags. Absolutely. I have worked with somebody who is an hour cruncher, somebody who's like, I could pay somebody $5 in a different country to do what you've done. If you guys have seen my posts, like somebody said that to me. We weren't working together much longer. So a lot of this work is self-anointed. But these are the codes. These are the codes of the aligned service provider. These are the lower frequency codes and the highest frequency codes. I'd love for you guys to drop into the comments which one was your favorite. My favorite is definitely prioritizing myself above my clients. This allows me so much time, so much freedom, so much space. So let me know what your favorite was. I am so grateful that you guys have all joined me today on this masterclass. There's been so much free value. And I want to talk to you now about a special offering that I have available if you want to deepen your work within stepping into your power as somebody who serves clients. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I dropped this recently, but I'm really ready to show up. We were in pre-sale and now we are in early bird. And this is called Raising the Standard in the Service Industry. And this is my life's work, my super beautiful program. This is a 7-week group coaching program for somebody who serves clients, regardless of if you're in a brick and mortar, you're an esthetician, you do massages, you're a VA, you're an OBM, you're a copywriter, a designer, a consultant, anyone who serves clients. This 7-week group coaching program will change your life. This is a group coaching program because I am here to help you switch into the lower frequency codes into the higher. We are going to transmute this energy and you are going to take the action necessary to change your life and to change your business, to step into financial freedom, to let go of what's unaligned, to step into powerful contracts, to step into powerful turnaround times, to really own that you want financial freedom and time freedom and that you get to have both. And we are going into all of it within this group coaching program. Because not only are you getting this information from me, but you are getting support from me in actually shifting these things. You are getting high level coaching from me, where I'm going to take you through the things you're scared to do, the things you know you need to do, the energetics of calling in the high level clients that you want, the power of getting out of your mind when you're scared to make a decision and getting into your human design, getting into your strategy and authority, and making decisions from an empowered place of this gets to be the best case scenario. Because it does. This work is so important to me. And I'm so excited to see women step into that time freedom, that money freedom. Money freedom's the vibe. It's the vibe. And call in high level clients and let go of what is unaligned so you can create a business that you love, so you can love serving, so you can love your time. So right now we are on early bird. This program, Raising the Standard in the Service Industry, starts on June 16th. Early bird only goes until June 9th. So we have 5 days for early bird. And you're going to get high level coaching from me and whatever personalized support you need to shifting your business into something that you love, to raising your prices, to moving from hourly to containers, to letting go of that client who's really not aligned, to stop doing things in your business that you no longer love, and stepping into the person who hosts masterclasses at 11 a.m. on Friday because you know your clients are fine. Stepping into the person who gets to go shopping during the day, just to hang out on your patio during the day. Somebody's at my door. I think it's a package. So what this program is it is $888 for early bird. It's going to go up on the 9th. There's payment plans available. I will drop into the comments the link so you can go look at the webpage. It's gorgeous. You can join us for full price or for early bird, but I would love to have you because this will change your business. This will change your life. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. It was so lovely to have you guys today. Let me check these comments real quick. This is so good, Christy. Thank you for showing up in your power and your alignment. Absolutely, Rachel. I adore you. I agree, prioritizing myself first. I am of no use to someone else if I am drained and or burnt out. And this is exactly what we're going on to in Raising the Standard in the Service Industry. I'm so excited for this program. This program is going to literally change your life. If you're feeling called, if you're feeling the pull to love your business, to step into this space of letting go of what's unaligned and getting into a space of loving your business, this is for you. So DM me if you have any questions. I would absolutely love to have you. I can't wait to see how your business looks after the 7 weeks. I can't wait. Just hanging out on your patio all the time, like me. So I love you all so much. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you sharing your time with me, sharing your comments with me, sharing your insights with me. It has been so, so beautiful, and I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your Friday. I will talk to you later, and if you feel called to join Raising the Standard, I would love to have you. Bye.